When it comes to selling your home, it's the preparation that's key. My name is Phil Wells. I'm a real estate agent serving clients in and around Spokane. I also have a network of top agents in North Idaho that can help you there too. In this video, we're going to look at 7 things you as a homeowner can do to help your home stand out from the competition. I've also included a bonus item at the end here, so stick around to find out what that is. Let's get on with the video. The first thing to do is to boost your curb appeal. Now, I'm not saying you need a perfect lawn and to spend thousands of dollars on landscaping to sell your home. However, you should take some time to stand on the curb and look at the property. Is there anything you can do to the yard to improve the appearance? What about the driveway? What about the front of the house itself? What about the entryway? Is it as inviting as it could be? Doing a few things now will really add up to a good first impression. Remember, you don't get a second chance to make that first impression, so make sure it's a good one. The next thing to do is to look for minor issues that are easily fixable and get them taken care of. It's a good idea to do this with someone you don't live with, as it's so easy to become conditioned to something that you may not view it as an issue at all. Look for things like missing light bulbs, damage to walls, loose door handles, any makeshift fixes you may have made, and crayon marks on the wall, for example. The purpose of this is to assure the buyer that this is a well-maintained home, and this is so important. The third thing to do is to declutter and depersonalize the home. The purpose of this is to give the buyer as much of a blank canvas as possible. They want to imagine how they'll make this home their own, not feel like a guest in yours. Let me give you an example. Imagine you went to go buy a used car and the seller's gym bag was in the passenger seat. He also had a year's worth of receipts in the footwell. You'd feel like you shouldn't really be there, right? The same can be true when it comes to buying a home. You can declutter and depersonalize by removing things like family portraits, clearing the floors, and clearing the work surfaces. If you do have a lot of things in the home, then consider things like temporary storage options too. The next thing to do is to thoroughly clean the house. Especially deep clean the kitchen. This is where buyers spend a lot of time during the showing, and is where they will likely end up at the end of the showing when they have a conversation about your home with their agent, so this is so important. Also ensure you clean all the floors, take all the trash out, and make all the beds. And one pro tip I'm going to give you is to clean the windows inside and out to allow the maximum amount of light into the property. This really makes a massive difference. The fifth thing to do is to address any bold paint colors or funky wallpaper that you might have. Consider painting over them in a neutral color. A color like Edgecombe Grey will go with almost any home decor, and places like Home Depot and Lowe's should have this color on file. Again, you want to give the buyer as much of a blank canvas as possible. Remember, if you're starting out with something like, I don't know, a deep purple color, then use a few coats of primer on there first. It's a lot cheaper than paint. The next thing you'll want to do is a smell test. Now, everyone's home smells different. If you cook with spices or if you have animals, then your home is going to smell different than a freshly painted home. This is just a fact. And there is a perfectly acceptable range of smells, so don't worry about this too much. However, if you've got a month-old kitty litter box in the laundry room, if you've got a week-old chicken in the kitchen trash can, or if you've got the smell of pet urine anywhere in the house, then these are things you're going to want to address before any buyer walks through the door. The seventh thing you're going to want to do is to stage the home for showings and photos. Go through your home and arrange things in the neatest, most presentable way possible. Straighten up all the furniture, remove unnecessary items, add some plants and some flowers in there, and your home should be ready to go. Your agent will also be able to offer some advice here, and there are professional staging companies out there if you want to go all out. Also consider things like parking somewhere else for the weekend so that your garage is clear. Make sure all the blinds are up and the curtains are open. And if you've got any particularly dark rooms, like in a basement for example, then leave the lights on and have it as you'd want them to see it. All these things add up to make the showing experience so much better for the buyer. I promised you a bonus item, and here it is. The bonus item is not to be home for the showing. Nothing puts a buyer off more than a seller who is home for a showing and who's trying to be helpful. It's nothing personal, but 9 times out of 10, the buyer knows exactly what they're looking for and only has a limited amount of time in the property. Any questions can be directed through the agents at a later date. A licensed agent will be with the buyer during any showings, so you don't have to worry too much about having a stranger in your home. However, if you are concerned, consider putting small items in a safety deposit box, for example, or removing fragile items from the home. This may seem like a long list, but you'd be surprised how easily you can get it accomplished, and it makes a huge difference. I show hundreds of properties a year and see how buyers react when these things aren't addressed. Like I said, my name is Phil Wells. I'm a real estate agent here in Spokane. If you or anyone you know is looking at listing their home for sale in Spokane, then please reach out to me and I'd be happy to help. Until the next video, thanks for watching.